Hello, Blue Lakers. My name is Rachel Miller, and I am one of the directors of the dance department here at Blue Lake Fine Arts Camp. And today, we're going to talk about the very, very beginnings of dance and how it developed into the styles that we know today, like ballet, like modern, like jazz, like tap, like hip-hop, urban dance, like ballroom dance, even some other forms of dance that are traditional from different cultures, like the Bharatanatyam technique, which is classical Indian dance, and some African dance forms. So let's get started here. Did you know that dance dates all the way back to the Paleolithic period? So this was at a time when cavemen and cavewomen walked the earth. And remember, they couldn't speak. At the time, there was no language, so dance was used as a form of communication. You might ask, how in the world do we know that they danced back then? There were no video cameras, there was no one to write anything down, there was no language. Well, researchers have found evidence of dance in ancient rock paintings. And as you can see, right here on the PowerPoint slide, here are some of the rock paintings that may have been found that led researchers to believe that dance started back then. And researchers have also concluded that not only was dance used as a form of communication, it was also used in religious rituals to praise the gods, or to bless the harvest, or to celebrate something like a wedding, or to mourn something like a funeral. So dance really has been around for a very, very long time. And that moves us into the ancient period. It's important to understand that these different time periods actually do overlap a little bit. It's not like there was a specific date where one ended and the next began. So they do overlap a little bit. Okay? During the ancient period now, folks were starting to look at what the dance actually looked like. So aesthetic, meaning what things look like, aesthetic elements were now consciously sought. So people were really looking at it, and really the first dance technique came out of this period, and that is classical Indian dance. Classical Indian dance is still practiced today, and you can take classes in it, and some of you may study it already. Another place where dance started to form as a technique was in Greece. Greece has a long history of the Grecian drama, and dance was often used in this Grecian drama, as you can see here where the pointer is. That is an ancient Greece Colosseum or amphitheater where you may have been able to go and see dance. At the same time, Indian cultures had something called a Sanskrit drama where dance was introduced. So people were really starting to look at what it looked like during the ancient period. So moving on to the medieval period. Okay, and this is 400 AD to 1400 AD-ish. Again, it overlaps. And during this period was the Dark Ages in Europe. So in Europe, the Black Plague was happening. And it killed something like 50% of the population. It was just terribly, terribly devastating. And so during this time, actually, Islamic cultures flourished in terms of music, in terms of dance, in terms of poetry and writing, in terms of mathematics. A lot of advances were made in Persian cultures. And out of this time period came Persian dance technique. We might know it today as belly dancing. During the Dark Ages, dance was actually banned in Europe, unless it glorified the church. And there is a lot that goes into that, but I won't get into that too much right now. But it experienced a resurgence towards the end of the medieval period with the Dance of Death. So you see kind of a depiction here of what that may have looked like. And the idea was that if you performed the Dance of Death, you might be able to shake off the Black Plague. So it was a way of kind of distancing oneself from the Black Plague. And then we get into the Renaissance period, which is 1400 AD to 1700 AD. And we saw the emergence now of court ballets. So now in Europe, dance was exciting again, and it was no longer banned by the church. And during this time, out of the court ballet came the technique of ballet. You see over here on the right, on my right anyway, we have King Louis XIV, the inventor of ballet, who took ballet out of the courts and put it in dance schools. During this time, we also see the, invention of the proscenium stage. So a proscenium stage is when you go into a theater. It's a stage that sits above the audience, and the audience looks at it from a frontal view, the most common type of stage. And because of the proscenium stage, now dance was starting to be performed for an audience rather than being community-based. Okay? And that brings us into the contemporary period. And the contemporary period is considered about 1700 until now. During the contemporary period, a lot of things happened. But we saw the emergence of the dance styles we know today. And most of those dance styles are rooted in African dance. Even ballet has been influenced by African dance, although it started in the courts of France. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.